Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Real talk. Because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Even when you have those bad days, because we all have our bad days. Just remember, it'll pass. This too shall pass. Let's not forget that, okay? But I appreciate you guys spending your time with me on this Monday. Man, it doesn't even feel like a Monday. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be completely straight funky with y'all. It does not feel like a Monday at all. But nonetheless, it's a Monday. So please do me a favor before we get into everything, before we get into this conversation, because there's a lot to look into. And I'm going to be real. I am still... What? There's a lot that's confused. There's so many things that are going on in the internet streets. People are talking. People are speaking out. There's a lot of confusion going on. Even you can see it in the title, wherever you're reading the title above or down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. There's a lot of confusion going on. And I'm hoping that we can talk about it, address the confusion. I don't know if we're going to be able to confirm or debunk the rumors, right? Or the information that's out here. But nonetheless, there is some confusing things going on, real talk. So we're going to talk about it. Okay, we do. We definitely have to talk about it. Have there been 3 people arrested, or is it just 2? We got to talk about that, because that's what everybody else is talking about in these internet streets. And I don't know if they're entirely correct or if there's connections to this 3rd arrest. I don't know. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, before we get into everything, please do me a favor. Do me this solid, okay? Hit the like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Please and thank you. All right? If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all of them mugs, okay? Please make sure you are subscribed or hitting that follow button on those respective channels. Make sure if you're watching here on my main channel, The Pascal Show here on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. Go to my 2nd channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Go to my 3rd channel, Pascal Raw. Subscribe to all 3, okay? Make sure that notification bell is set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because right now it is random, okay? Unfortunately, it's a very, very busy time right now, and it is what it is. So make sure you hit that notification bell, okay? Set it to all on all platforms. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. All right? That would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. And we got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys. Whew, we got to get into this conversation. Okay, guys. I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of information that's been flying out the gates over the last few days revolving around this guy. Because this guy, I'm actually... I have to hit the button. First off, let me just let you know who this, dollar store Slim Shady lookalike, okay, what his real name is. His name is Austin Drummond. And I gotta keep it real with y'all right now, okay? I am actually surprised. Now, hold on, because some of y'all will be like, well, why are you on the team of an assailant of a monster like Dollar Store Slim Shady? No. I'm just surprised. The reason why I am surprised right now, okay? No, he ain't even 5 below, okay? He ain't even a 5 below. He a Dollar Store. And we talk about the old Dollar Store. We ain't talking about the new one since inflation. Now everything's like $1.25. I think $1.75 now. Okay. The Dollar Store is the title of Dollar Store is kind of a lie now because of inflations and how the economy be out here. Just so you know, we might as well call it $2 Store. Okay. But no, Dollar Store, Slim Shady, broke ass Tom Green looking ass. He was the one who got it dejected. Okay. He got rejected from the Duck Dynasty family. Okay. I mean, we can go all day. Okay. But this mother lover right here, the reason why I'm surprised is because this dude is still gone. Yeah. And I mean impressed. When I say I'm impressed, I don't mean this in a good way. I mean it the worst way possible. I'm just impressed because I thought that there was not even one brain cell in this man's noggin. And apparently he's outsmarting 5-0 as we speak right now. So I'm going to hit the button again because I'm absolutely shook and surprised. Now, let me just tell you this. I expected him to be caught over the weekend. I was expecting it to be very, very short. One is because they said the last time they allege of seeing him was in this red and white 1988 pickup truck. Now, it's an old school pickup truck. This isn't just some pickup truck you see on the streets, okay? This isn't in like a brand new F-150 out there in these streets, black or something like that. You see what I'm saying? This is a 1988 red and white pickup truck, and they still haven't found this dude. He had an Audi, a 2016 Audi that was found, right? Because he abandoned that car. Apparently, he switched cars, jumped into that ride, and that was the last that they've seen of this dude. Now, this homeboy, okay, all right, this homeboy, white boy Rick, okay, looking ass. He doesn't look like white boy Rick, but you know. Anyway, he about that thuggy ruggish bone. Yeah, he really is. So here's the thing. They believe that he switched cars and then he drove off. They found his other car, which is, you know, it's a 2016 Audi. Audis are nice. Okay. No, they don't sponsor me, but, you know, holla at your boy, Audi. Sup? Anyway, they believe that he's in this, well, last I heard, unless something has changed as of late, they were talking about a red and white pickup truck that he apparently was in. 1988. Vintage, guys. Okay? Vintage ride. So in my mind, I feel like it would be very easy to find a truck like that out there in these streets. It's not every day that you're going to see a red and white 1988 pickup truck in these streets. He is still yet to be found. Okay? They have not crossed paths with this mother lover. He gone right now. That's why I mean by I'm surprised and I'm a little impressed because he has brains, apparently. Okay? He has brains enough to not get caught right now. He's dumb for what he did and allegedly what these other people, apparently he was not the only one who did this set of crimes, which is absolutely crazy. Okay? Which is absolutely crazy. Because now we got more information. We got new developments that have happened over this whole weekend. But like I said, there's this new thing. People are saying that a third person was arrested. Right now, they're only saying one person was arrested, y'all. Or sorry, two, I'm sorry. They're saying two people were arrested. So that one person, they're saying so far, at least the reports that are saying, that are out here, they're reporting that there is no connection with that third person that was arrested. But I feel like that is subject to change over time, right? Now, real quick, before we go into this, Tipsy, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. So I really do appreciate it. And of course, thank you for being one of our many amazing mods on this platform. I really do appreciate it, Tipsy. Thank you so much. But again, this is some very, very interesting stuff. Like I said, very interesting, very wild, new developments. 2 people, at least from what what they're saying right now, 2 people in connection to this quadruple tragedy have been arrested. Okay. And I believe that the only reason why we're hearing more information about Austin, etc., not only because of Facebook, because Facebook out here wilding, y'all. Woo! Facebook out here wilding, okay? Facebook is losing its doggone mind, just so you know, all right? It out here wilding. But aside from Facebook and people who know the families and family members speaking out and putting their comments online and friends of friends and people, so on and so, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's that's what happens when you live in a town. What happens? People talk and they start talking and they start talking and talking and talking. And somewhere within all of that mucky muck, within all that rumor mill, I heard from Bessie told me that, you hear all that stuff, right? The game of telephone, if you will. Somewhere in there, there's the truth. Somewhere in there, there is proof and evidence, right? Of wrongdoing or why this person did what they did. Motive, for lack of a better term. So we got to look at a bunch of things here in just a minute. And I'm telling you right now, third person may be connected. Maybe the person who was there in connection to this quadruple tragedy as well. We'll find out. But if you guys don't know, let me pull up this dude's muggly ass again. Okay, here is Austin Drummond. Okay, he is on the run right now. Is he on the run by himself? I don't know. That's a question that a lot of people are wondering. Is he riding solo dolo out here in these streets? Or is he out there with somebody else? We don't know. But we do know that he is the main suspect in the connection to the unaliving of 4 people. Okay? And let me pull up their faces here real quick so you guys can see them as well. These 4. So the Wilson Williams family. Okay? Now, the youngest out of this 4 is the young boy over to the right of the screen right now. Let me just blow this up for you guys so you guys can see their faces, okay? So you got a couple who had a baby, all right? 7-month-old baby. This is the daughter, okay? Or this is her family, okay? This is her mom. This is her little brother. And then, of course, her boyfriend / the father of their child, which is 7-month-old girl. She was found in the front lawn of some random person's home. This is what sparked the 911 call. This is what sparked them discovering their bodies in a wooded area. And this is what sparked the search and the manhunt for Dollar Store Slim Shady. Okay? Now, the youngest out of the 4 here is her brother, okay, who happened to lose his life at the age of 15 years old. Now, there's a lot of speculation floating around about someone wanted to, it had to do with somebody ratting somebody out. It had to do with moving substances around. That one of the boys, okay, out of the 4, they're saying there's the rumor saying that the 15-year-old had something to do with maybe he wanted to be a part of that street life, and the street life caught up on him and obviously caused the death of these 3 other people in his family as well. I don't know if any of that is true, but that is some of the rumor that is floating around out here. Either somebody was going to snitch, or somebody was trying to be a part of some street life stuff, and then everything went haywire. Okay? One thing is for sure, though. We do know now that this dude here, Austin Drummond, who happens to be out on the lam right now, we do now know that he was dating the mother or the grandmother right here, the grandmother's sister. We're now starting to learn that as well, which is very interesting because this allegedly is a photo of them together. And no, that's not just some weird random position to hold a woman's belly. This is literally the universal sign of baby on the way. We made a baby. Baby on the mother effing way. Just so you know. Okay? So this allegedly, the woman in this photo is allegedly the sister. It's allegedly the sister of the woman, the grandmother that passed away. Okay? This is what we're hearing now. Okay? Allegedly. So this woman right here, who happens to be the grandmother of the 7-month-old baby that was found in the front lawn, okay? Allegedly, he was dating her. They're sisters. This one and that one are allegedly sisters. Allegedly. And there's more information coming out that we're going to look into. But I'm going to, okay, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. We got to get straight into into some of the facts here. This is just what the rumor mill, this is what Facebook talking about, man. Facebook out here, okay? They talking, okay? And now they're saying that there is something about a relationship that spawned from inside the prison that he was holed up in, and that she was actually working at the prison. I'm just saying the things that are out here, rumor mill, real quick, because it's absolutely nuck and futz. Don't know if it's absolutely true, but we'll see what happens. But if you have a photo there's other photos too, baby. We're going to look at these other photos. But you're not posing with a pregnant woman unless you really with them, or unless you actually made that baby with them. You're not running around holding their belly, in anticipation and in excitement for baby to come if it wasn't yours in the making. If you did not sire this child, you're not holding the belly being like, can't wait. You see what I'm saying? You're not. You're not. Unless you're somebody who finds someone, you fall in love. I mean, that sounds like like a Hallmark movie or like a Lifetime movie, but you know what I mean? You fall in love, you find out the girl that you're dating, which is wild, find out while you're dating her that she's pregnant, and you go, well, we gonna raise that child together. I know I didn't sire that child, but it's okay. We gonna sire that child together. It doesn't happen very often, y'all. You see that on soap operas, you see that on TV, you see that in Hollywood, but in real life, most guys are like, okay, I like you, you're cool, but I can't be here for that. I'm out, okay? Just so you know. So don't think that I don't think that this baby is not his. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? You didn't sire the baby, so why would you put your hands on the belly like you did sire the baby? You see what I'm saying? So in other words, for those y'all in the nosebleed seats, he sired this child. And allegedly, this woman is also the sister of the grandmother who was slain. Okay? We're going to get into that in a little bit. I promise you that. But let's bring up Slim Shady's face one more time. This is the guy, okay? Dollar store, Slim Shady. Real name, Austin Drummond. He is still on the loose right now. He is connected to the unaliving of these 4 individuals after he allegedly dropped off a 7-month-old baby in the front lawn of someone's house. And now he is nowhere to be seen. He was last seen driving a red and white pickup truck, a 1988 pickup truck, and he is nowhere to be found. Allegedly, he is in connection to the unalivings of these 4 individuals. Just so you guys know, we do not know where this guy is at all. One thing is for sure, the 7-month-old baby is still alive and kicking, thank God, which is obviously great news. But these 4 individuals, the victims going as young as 15 years old, they all lost their lives, and they were found in a wooded area. What happened? Why did they lose their lives in this fashion? Something has to start making sense here very soon. Like I said, the internet be wilding. Facebook be wilding right now. We're going to look at that in a second. But apparently there have been 2 individuals that were arrested in connection to this whole thing. I know people are saying, no, there's 3, Pascal. There's 3 people that got arrested. They have not said anything in the news about 3. All I've heard is 2. And when they do say third person in connection to this whole situation has been arrested, damn right, we're going to talk about it. Okay. But from what I've heard so far from the news, I haven't heard anything about a third person. We are going to talk about it. We are going to cover that part too. But we don't know for sure if that's solidified or not, if that's a solid fact or not. Okay. The rumor mill been running. This makes me think of all the other cases that we've covered on this show where, the streets be talking before the news start talking. So maybe this is true. Maybe it is fact. We'll find out soon enough. Okay. But actually, let me get the super chat before we continue. Okay. Carbonize, thank you so much for the love. This felon Baggins. Yeah, no kidding. Looking mother lover. Yeah. Probably put a ring on and disappeared. Smash that like. You know what? But that's the thing. What did he actually, did he steal that ring or did he actually buy it, lawfully? I'm just saying, she's like, oh, baby, that's so beautiful, that ring. And he's like, yeah, it conveniently fell off the side of a truck on the interstate. And I just happened to be right there. And it just fell right in my hands. Don't you know that God is everything? Okay. God will do it. You know what God did? God did. I was right there at the right time, honey. And it said, and the Lord came out of that cloudy sky and said, you know what? This ring is for your baby mama. It's for your BM. Go give it to her. You just happen to be in the right spot, right place at the right time, baby. Perfect timing for you. You are blessed. Go with God. Go with me. You know what I mean? So yeah. No. Put a ring on and ran. He's like, second thought, I'm out. So let's see. 2 arrests have been made in connection to Tennessee quadruple M suspect who allegedly abandoned 7-month-old baby. And again, police are sitting there going like, he's got a heart. I don't know if he's got a heart. You're willing to do all this terrible, crazy stuff, and yet he still has a heart? Nah, take several seats. Nah, you go and take several seats. So let's just take a look at some of these bullets here. 2 men allegedly connected to the murder suspect, Austin Robert Drummond, have been arrested amid the search for Drummond. He was accused of taking the life of 4 family members in Tennessee and abandoning the 7-month-old baby in a front yard. And we don't know what front yard that is. Whose front yard is that, right? Is it really a random front yard, or did he drop it off at a specific person's front yard? We don't know. Like I said, the police have not really given out a whole lot of information, which is frustrating. So Tanaka Brown is one of the guys who got arrested, and Giovante Thomas. So both of them, Tanaka and Giovante, have been charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree M, police say. So 2 men allegedly linked to, dollar store, Slim Shady who is accused of taking the life of 4 family members in Tennessee and abandoning the 7-month-old baby in a front yard have been arrested amid the ongoing manhunt for this suspect. On Saturday, on August 2nd, the TBI confirmed Tanaka Brown and Giovante Thomas have been charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree M. So Brown is also facing a charge of 1 count of tampering with evidence, which is interesting. This is due to an update that they did just recently. So the TBI alleged that both suspects assisted Drummond, who is wanted for the M's of James Wilson, Adriana Williams, Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams, okay, which, by the way, he's the youngest out of the 4 victims, 15 years old, okay? The victims were all found deceased on Tuesday, July 29th in Lake County, Tennessee. And there he is right here, okay? With his ugly looking ass, okay? And he is still on the loose, guys. We do not know where this mother lover is. Real talk. We do not know where this mother lover is. Thomas was already being held in the Madison County Jail on an unrelated charge for failure to appear. He will be transferred to the Lake County Jail to be arraigned on the new charges. This is what TBI released in the news. In a separate post, they stated, Brown was booked into the Lake County Jail where he remains without bond, which most likely is a good thing. Okay, if he has anything to do with the taking of these particular people, this family, then damn right. Lock them up and throw away the damn key. Police discovered the 4 bodies amid the ongoing investigation into the abandonment of James and Adriana's 7-month-old baby daughter, 25 miles away in Dyer County. Police or people previously reported. And of course, I'm going to skip over her face. All right. I'm sure you can find it online. All right. But 7-month-old baby, with all due respect, she hasn't even been on this planet even a year. So I'm going to let her have her anonymity, at least on this platform. So on Sunday, so yesterday, August 3rd, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office confirmed that the U.S. Marshal had increased its reward for the capture of Drummond to $10,000, with the TBI also offering $7,500. This brings the reward to a total of $17,500 per Facebook post. Drummond is wanted for first-degree M times 4, okay? Aggravated kidnapping, possession of a firearm during commission of a dangerous felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, there was GSWs involved. Why you say that? Possession of a firearm during commission of a dangerous felony. So either there was pistol whipping or there was a pulling of a trigger. But then, if you really think about it, it sounds like the other guys were just helping him get away. That's what that's at least what it seems like to me. Okay? It seems like his boys, because clearly this is some gang stuff. This is some gang related crap. Okay? Very integrated gang crap. Okay? And I think there was a pulling of a trigger, and then for God knows what reason, which is also insane, you take out the entire family. You don't go after the one person that you have beef with, or that one person that maybe you didn't do great business with, or something of that sort. You take out the whole freaking family, except for the 7-month-old baby, which is absolutely insane, right? But these other guys either were in audience of this situation, or they helped him cover up this stuff and helped him kick rocks. That's what I think. Because right now, they're saying, hold on, pull this up again. So they're charged with the accessory after the fact to first degree M. So in other words, they may not even been in the room or even in the area when this whole thing went down. But they said, say less, bro. I got you. They got rid of maybe the evidence, got rid of the firearm, got rid of the weapon that he used to take these four out, and they helped him kick rocks out here in these wilderness streets. That's what I think. And I think that one of these two, and if there is three, then one of the possible three are squawking. They singing like a mother-loving canary right now because they don't want to be locked up. Who wants to be locked up? Okay? Who wants to be locked up? Nobody. All right? So they must be singing, y'all. Okay? Bumblebee, bumblebee. You know what I mean? They singing. Okay? So. All right. Okay. Again. So on August 1st, which we reported, we talked about this too. His empty car was located in Jackson, Tennessee, over an hour's drive away from Tiptonville, where his four alleged victims were discovered. So there's that car with his Tom Green looking ass. So there it is, right? But that car, they found it. It was, ditched on basically ditched on the side of the road, and he was nowhere to be seen. I think, man, you never know. Maybe somebody took the car, drove it for him off somewhere. That's possible too. So that people would go and chase after that car rather than chase after him, who's in a red and white pickup truck driving down the interstate somewhere else in a completely different direction. I'm just saying, the questions still remain, right? And I got a lot of them. So the Jackson Police Department has located the vehicle driven by Austin Drummond in the woods near the dead end of MCO Road. It appears that he has been living in the vehicle and may be in the area. Yeah, he was on the run, y'all. So of course he was living in the freaking vehicle. You want to know what it is? I guarantee you he had like Gatorade bottles filled with number one. You know what I mean? Because he had to get going. He had to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, we see a whole bunch of, Dorito bags, empty Dorito bags, and a whole bunch of bottles that look like they're filled with apple juice, but that ain't apple juice, baby. That ain't apple juice. Okay. It's warm to the touch. So that must be, you know what that means. All right. Don't drink it. That means don't drink it. JPD asked all people within the immediate area of this alert to lock their doors, stay indoors as we actively search for Drummond. Remember, he is considered armed and extremely dangerous. If you see him, call 911 immediately. Do not approach the suspect. Yeah, guys, don't be a hero. As soon as you see someone who remotely looks like Tom Green, or you're like, damn, that looks like a broke ass Slim Shady. Whoa! Call 911 instantly. Like, doesn't that remind you of Slim's mom spaghetti? Knees weak, arms are heavy. Instantly call 911. Don't think about nothing. Don't try to tackle him down. Don't do nothing. This guy is a very dangerous dude, obviously, if he's willing to take out an entire family. But it still remains to be seen if he was the only one that did this. Okay? Call 911. Period. The quartet unalived have been identified, we already know, as the mother, father, grandmother, and uncle of the abandoned infant, okay, according to Fox News. They were all family members of Drummond's current girlfriend. Where's that photo again? There she is. They're together, happy as hell. He's like, I created life. Look at me, mama. I'm a grown man. I'm siring a baby. Yeah. Only to find out this guy is an absolute monster. Ain't that crazy? We should, man, I always say this, but there should be a license to make children. Okay? Real talk, there should be. Don't worry, I'm not going to go on a tangent, okay? But I'm just saying there should be a law. I'm kidding, but at the same time, some people just need to be okayed, like given the thumbs up before they actually are able to, you know, make babies. Okay. There he is again. The outlet also reported that at the time of the alleged quadruple M, he was out on bond for allegedly attempting to take the life of someone else while he was in prison in December of 2024. So here's the thing. He's got a mean streak. He's got a little like that. He's got that gene in him. Okay. And I don't mean my genes are blue, but he really does have that gene in him. Okay. Where he was attempting to take somebody's life whilst in prison. Now, I get it. He's in prison for 10 years. He was in prison for 10 whole years because he tried. I can't say this without laughing. I'm sorry. But he he robbed a convenience store and he walked out with $44 and he got locked up for 10 years. Not 10 minutes, not 10 days, not 10 weeks, 10 years. Just so you know. 10. So him being locked up for that long, or more than 10 years, but him being locked up for 10 years like that, okay, you know, you might grow some street beef inside that prison beef. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, right? And he clearly must have joined some sort of gang because that's all it is, right? While you're holed up in jail, while you're holed up in prison, you know, it's East Side versus West Side, right? It's white and black. It's whatever and whatever. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, he joined a side and then suddenly his world was only what was going on inside that prison, right? It's crazy. But the fact that he allegedly attempted to take the life of somebody while he was locked up. All right. And by the way, this was in December of 2024. Last I checked. Yeah. What year are we in right now? What year are we in right now? Yeah, the Sharks and the Jets. Yep. When you're a jet all the way from the first cigarette to your last dying day. You know what I mean? And they're just doing this all around the I'm done. Out there in the mess hall just doing this. Okay, with their shivs. You know what I mean? I'm done. But literally, look. That wasn't very long ago, baby. That wasn't very long ago. He was behind bars for robbing a convenience store at age 16. By the way, I don't know why I know that the lyrics to that song, or at least that part of that song. Don't ask. That was some weird like osmosis crap that just, I don't know how I know that song. Okay, that just came out of nowhere. That was some weird, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is. Okay, just roll with it. I don't know why that West Side Story just kind of boom, came forward. I don't know. Don't ask. Okay, don't ask. Let's move on. All right, but he was behind bars for robbing a convenience store at age 16. So he was really dumb back then, and he never got smarter though. Like you'd think that he would like pick up a book while he was in prison. You know what I mean? Like find I don't know, find intelligence, find knowledge within a book. I don't know, maybe find Allah, the Nation of Islam. I don't know, something like that. Okay? Something like that. But no. He still dumb. Still dumb. At 28 years old. Okay? this makes it worse. So he robs a convenience store at 16 years old. Then he goes on to threatening to go after jurors. You can't. Is that a joke? This man's so dumb. I'm done. The show's over. It's been great. Have a good night, y'all. Thank you. Happy Monday. Seriously though, this man's so dumb that he went out of his way to threaten to go after the jurors that were a part of his actual mother-loving trial. Yeah, that might be a reason why he was locked up for a long time. Why did they just lock him up and just throw away the key? I mean, I know his charge, what he was charged for wasn't, taking the life of anybody, but the fact that he was threatening to go after jurors is absolutely nuck and futz. Okay? Yeah, West Side Story is the bomb. I'll admit it. It's a great musical. Are you kidding me? It's a great musical. All right? I'm kidding when I said I don't know where that came from. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Okay? All right? Look it up. It's a good musical. Just like Jesus Christ Superstar. Great freaking musical. All right? Let's move on, though. All right? And the only reason why I'm talking about Jesus Christ Superstar is because they just did a new version of it with... oh, crap. What's her face? I don't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about. Okay? She was in Wicked. There it is. Okay? But great musical, too. I enjoy good music, period. All right? Doesn't matter the genre. So educate your ass on something. So this guy literally went out of his way to actually... Cynthia Erivo. Thank you. Cynthia Erivo. I think it's Erivo. Yeah, Cynthia Erivo. Yes, her. Moving on, though. Okay? So the fact that he was going out of his way to actually threaten to go after jurors whilst he was locked up for his trial is dumb. Okay? So on the evening of July 29th at about 10:26 p.m. local time, a 911 call was made reporting that Courtney Rose and her daughter, Adriana Williams, were missing. The 4 bodies were found hours after the infant was abandoned. So they found the body, or they found the baby. Then there was other phone calls made, 911 calls made. Then they went out and did a search. And then hours later, all 4 bodies were found in a wooded area. So again, guys, very, very bad stuff here. Okay. This dude, broke ass dollar store Slim Shady, has a lot of explaining to do. A lot. And now you have 2 individuals. Yes, I know that there's other people saying that there's more individuals that were, basically another individual, 3 were actually arrested. But that still remains to be seen, in my personal opinion. Of course, we'll find out more information here soon. But I want to go over to Court TV. We got a couple things from Court TV, some things from Vinny Politan to other clips from there. So shout out to the amazing Court TV, as always. Okay. Shout out to them. Fantastic channel. And they've been looking and doing a lot of deep dive into this case as well. And rightfully so. I'd like to know what the heck's going on as well, because a lot of it is still very confusing in my personal opinion. And we definitely need to get some facts soon. Okay. Because there's a lot of rumor mill going out. And here's the thing. Like I said, we're going to be diving into the rumor mill conversation here shortly, but we have to take everything with a grain of salt. Okay. It may be facts. It may not be facts. And I feel like this is kind of the thing that happened with, like, oh my God, with so many other cases that we've talked about, and people just clip things and then they go, well, you heard from this show, such and such, he said that. And it's like, no, hold on. Before everybody starts taking things and clipping things and taking things out of context and blah, blah, blah. First and foremost, remember that we have to take everything with a grain of salt. Okay? Because the streets are going to talk, and there are going to be wild allegations and wild conspiracy theories being flown out the gate until the guy gets actually arrested and they come out with facts. So I just want you to remember that before we go off-road into the land of Rumorville, because Rumorville can take you down a rabbit hole that you never thought you were going down, and then you find yourself in this mucky muck that you didn't even want to get into in the first place. So just so you guys know, all right? Take everything with a grain of salt. But this right here are facts. So let's take a look at these here real quick.
To know that murderers come down through here, I mean, yeah, it's scary. Who could have done that? Who could have left a baby at it somewhere with strangers outside in this heat? I mean, who would do that?
Exactly. Who would do that? Welcome back. We have some new developments to share with you as the manhunt continues this morning for the wanted suspect in the case of 4 murders and the abandonment of a baby. Authorities have charged 2 others in connection to the case. Tanika Brown and Giovante Thomas are charged with accessory after the fact. Investigators believe both men.
I said Tanaka. I'm sorry. Like Banaka, you know what I mean? So my bad. Tanika, that's a new one. I thought it was Tanaka. You know what I mean? Like we out there in the middle of Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I was wrong. Let's continue.
Assisted suspect Austin Drummond. The bodies of 4 adult family members were found in a wooded area in Lake County, Tennessee. The baby's mom, 20-year-old Adriana Williams. The baby's dad, 21-year-old James Wilson. The baby's grandmother, 38-year-old Courtney Rose. And the baby's uncle, 15-year-old Braden Williams. On Friday, investigators held a press conference and warned the public about Austin Drummond. They also talked about his long rap sheet.
Austin Drummond was convicted in Madison County several years ago for an aggravated robbery. He was sentenced to the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and he was housed at Northwest Correctional, which is in Tiptonville in Lake County. He completed that sentence. So it's what we call flattening the sentence. So he doesn't actually come out on parole or probation. He's just released because he's done all of his time in prison. While he was in prison, he received other charges. We actually took him to grand jury in Lake County because since it occurred at the prison, then it was in our jurisdiction. He had some drug charges that we indicted him for. And then shortly after that, he actually was charged and indicted in Lake County for attempted first degree murder, which took place inside the prison. Because he completed his sentence, then that was just like any other sentence that a person on the street would have committed. So what happened is once he was released from the Department of Corrections, the Lake County Sheriff's Department picked him up just as they would anyone else, brought him to the Lake County Jail, and he made bond. So he has been out on bond on those charges when we think that this was allegedly committed.
Now, let me just say this really quick. I'm glad that he addressed this situation, but there's something really, really messed up and corrupt with the justice system, okay? With the prison system. I mean, we already know about the justice system in general. I mean, we've seen countless people walk away by the skin of their teeth when they've been found, red-handed doing disgusting, disturbing things. But something very interesting here is kind of bothering me. The fact that he had multiple counts, right? He is a repeat criminal, very aggressive, very violent particular person. And there is nothing within him that shows that he has any room for rehabilitation. He's been arrested and he's been charged with multiple different counts of various amount of things. And then he starts going into actual violent things like attempted M. And yet he still was able to be out on bond and also be just out here in these streets to go out and do what he did, to exact what he did. Now, like I said, we don't know if he did this by himself. We don't know if he had help, but nonetheless, he was still able to do what he did because he was able to get out. If you're a repeat offender, why are you still out here in these streets, especially on something like an attempted M inside the prison? Think about that for a second. Think about that for 1 second. You got somebody who's a repeat offender. And as time goes, it just gets more and more intense, right? It starts with him going to a convenience store, stealing some money, $44, and ends up him behind bars for more than a decade. While he's in behind bars, not only just because of possession of substances, etc., he attempts to take somebody's life whilst behind bars. Why was he even allowed to get walking? Why was he even allowed to see the light of day? Why was he even allowed to see freedom? Why? Why? As this man said, why? Whilst he was out there, okay? Whilst he was incarcerated, he was able to attempt to take the life of another inmate. Why? If he was in trouble for that, why wasn't he locked the mother effing up by now? Weird, right? But then he was out on bond, and while he was out on bond, he was able to do this to these individuals. Huh? Like I said, the system's corrupt, the system's messed up, and it needs to get fixed immediately. Let's continue, though. I know apparently they were saying there was a sighting of him, an alleged sighting of him. I'm gonna look into it. And Holly, if you can email it to me instead of messaging it on Facebook, that'd be a lot more helpful. So just email it to me, okay? That would be greatly appreciated. All right, but let's continue. That's what I mean by the system's messed up. How many times do we hear about people who are repeated offenders getting out and then they go do something really bad, right? Like taking somebody's life or taking someone against their will, right? Why does this happen all the time? This person should have been locked up, period. He shouldn't have been out, okay? He did what he did behind bars. That's the moment where he should be reconciling for this. That should be him doing his act of contrition, right? His reconciling for what he did, the crimes that he committed. That's why he's locked up. That's why he's serving time. But while you're locked up, you're proving that you've learned nothing. Because now you're putting together a shiv so you can go and do this unthinkable thing whilst being locked up. And he still got out. Y'all, this is some jack. Let me let him talk, okay? Like I said, the system is messed up.
Oh, my. Let's talk about this some more. Let's bring in our guest. Still with me, attorney Jennifer Brandt and private investigator Manuel Gomez. All right, Manuel, hearing that criminal history and him being out on bond, what do you think, please?
Well, Julie, I have to say this is the year of the serial killer and the murderer, as we all see through all the cases on Court TV. The fact that they let him out is a travesty to our system.
Thank you.
The system failed. He was being charged with attempted murder. He was in the Department of Corrections. He should have never been left out. Those people should not be dead. He should have been going to trial. Why did they release him? This is insane. In New York, we don't release them if they got attempted murder charges, drug charges. Yeah, he did his time. I understand that. But letting him make bail, I'm sorry. This was a failure of the system.
I echo everything you just said. I couldn't agree with you more. It is insane. It is insane. The system failed the public here big time. Because you're right, Manuel. He's got an attempted homicide charge. You're right. He served his time on the aggravated robbery charge. This is a different crime that's being alleged here. I mean, that is nuts to me that it would be, oh, he did this in the prison and then, oh, you can have a bond. Like, this isn't stealing a sandwich at a cafe. I mean, this is trying to kill someone. No, there's no reason in the world he should have had a bond. Like whatever judge gave him a bond and whatever prosecutor had the case, like I would love to know what in the world those people were thinking, or weren't they thinking? Because he had to have been brought in, been arraigned. You know, you look at the charges, you look at the history, you know, and who thought it was a good idea to let him go home? This is the kind of thing that happens. It's infuriating. Jennifer Brandt, I would love your thoughts on this. I'm sure you have a lot to say about this guy and whether he should be out at this time.
I 100% agree with both of you. I mean, he was a dangerous individual. He had threatened the jurors at his prior trial after, they brought this up at the parole hearing for him. He was a bad guy. He is a bad guy and not somebody that should be let out on the street, especially when there was reason to still hold him. I mean, yeah, he did his time, but then there were other charges against him. Knowing what a dangerous individual he is, why would anyone think about releasing him into the public? I mean, this is a guy that just went right out and committed another crime even worse than his first. So when are we going to learn to keep these people in jail, especially when there's reason to?
Exactly. Jennifer, you're so right. When are we going to learn? What's it going to take? 4 people are dead. This is a massacre of this family. Manuel, authorities are saying this guy is really dangerous. Don't approach him. They're telling the public, stay away from this guy. How much of a threat to society do you think Austin Drummond is right now?
Well, you brought up a good point, Julie, about his threat. The prosecutor said that this is an isolated incident to the situation. No, he is a bona fide serial killer. He killed 4 people brutally. And this case, he is a danger to the entire Tennessee. And the bottom line is that this case also epitomizes what do you do when a serial killer is coming at you?
The question is, though, I need to look up the definition of a serial monster real quick, because I don't know if this counts as that. You see what I'm saying? I thought it had to be very specific. I get what he's trying to say. I mean, this guy is a mass unaliver, okay? This guy is an absolute disgusting person. He's a punk, for lack of a better term. Actually, a punk ain't even the full description of what this kid truly is, okay? This horde 28 looking ass, Slim Shady looking ass guy, okay? But on some real stuff, though, yeah, I don't know. This is more of a mass situation than it is, in my personal opinion, a serial K, right? Because I thought it had to be very specific, like almost like specific in a way. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm going to look it up, though. But I get what he's trying to say here, though.
Have to try to humanize yourself. You got to let him see, hey, my name is Manuel. I'm a father. I have children. This is why when he killed those 4 people, he saved the baby's life because the baby was crying. He saw the vulnerability. He saw the angel. He saw, oh my God, I can't kill this innocence. The baby became humanized. And I can prove that to you because he even put the baby in a child seat, Julie, and dropped her off. All these serial killers have this in common. They see us as objects, and that's why they kill us. The minute we humanize ourselves and they see us as human beings, they won't kill you. But he is a threat to America, and he is more dangerous because he does not want to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've always said this. He's very dumb, okay? So, yeah, he's dumb and he's desperate. He's desperate and he's dumb. So far, he's been able to get away with what he's done so far, which, like I said in the very beginning of the show, I'm very surprised that he's lasted this long. I figured he would have been locked up by now. I figured he would have been caught by now. So I don't know what is going on with this, but let me pull this up so you guys can hear what I have to say. I'm just reading this off screen here, but this is just AI. Okay, I just typed it into Google AI, or Google in their AI overview just gave us something. So according to the FBI, because I asked the question, what is a serial K-er? Okay, so according to the FBI, serial M is defined as the unlawful unaliving of 2 or more victims by the same offender or offenders in separate events. So technically, he's not a serial Emmer. He's a mass Emmer for sure. He's a mass monster, but he's not a serial monster, right? Because again, like I said, I guess I always thought of serial monsters as like they always have a type, right? Like they gotta be, male of this type or females of this type. You know what I mean? But I get it. It's not only just a specific type of person, right? Or a specific type of victim, right? Separate events, the unalivings occur as distinct incidents, meaning they are not part of a single or continuous event. So, if you really think about it, all the mass M's that have gone on in the world, right? All the school tragedies, all the stuff that has happened at parks and certain large group events, those people who are out there running around with their ARs, just pumping round after round type of situation, those aren't considered serial monsters. They're just considered mass monsters. We got to use these code words. It's very annoying, but you get what I'm saying, right? So again, this group of people that lost their lives, this person is being considered a mass emmer, not a serial emmer. But I get what he's trying to say here, okay? Nonetheless, this is somebody who's an absolute monster, and he needs to be brought to justice as soon as possible. So we got a little bit of breaking news here. Thanks to Holly, I appreciate it. We got some breaking news, so I want to give this to you guys first before we continue on, okay? Allegedly, there has been a sighting, of Austin Drummond. So let's take a look at this, shall we? So this is from Nick Barris. Okay, he's been covering all kinds of stuff, especially in the Tennessee area. Okay, he was covering Sebastian Rogers back when and all that. And of course, he's been deep diving into this like crazy as well. So possible sighting of Austin Drummond. So WNWS News reports a large police presence with SWAT team members and weapons. This is in Jackson, Tennessee. Now, here's the thing. Wasn't he? Hold on. Let me cross-reference something here really quick. Okay. Where was his car found? Or isn't he from Jackson, Tennessee? Hold on. Austin Drummond. Austin Drummond's car found. Let's see. Hold on. Because I remember them saying something along the lines like his car, the Audi, was found in an area that he actually is from what we talked about. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, so the car was found in Tiptonville. Okay, discovered. Oh no, sorry. The bodies were found in Tiptonville. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm like skimming through this article to find out where. Okay. So what's interesting is that investigators located two vehicles associated with Drummond. So there's a white, or like a red and white 1988 Ford pickup truck, okay, with, like I already said, is red and white, okay, that was found in Dyer County. Authorities asked people to check their security cameras for video of the truck. Now, the white Audi, 2016 Audi, believed to belong to Drummond, okay, was found in Jackson. Hopefully that's still up. Yep. Jackson's right there. You see this post right here? So hold on. Oh my God. He may be dumb after all. He may be an idiot after all. Hold on. Let me cook. So they say investigators believe Drummond may be in the Jackson area. So his car, the Audi, was abandoned. Oh, okay, I was right. It was abandoned in Jackson, Tennessee. From what I understand, I could have sworn that they said something about Drummond maybe being from Jackson, the Jackson area. I remember reading that yesterday or a couple days ago, live with you guys when we were talking about this initially. So here's the thing. He may be a freaking dumbass after all. So they say he dropped off the car, and yeah, I guess he might be kicking rocks. He might be on foot. So again, let's see. So they report a large police presence with SWAT team members and weapons. This is in the Jackson, Tennessee area. THP and Jackson police are staging around West Jackson Baptist Church. He went to hide in a church. Okay, possibly. Okay. Hold on. We're going to look into this here in a second. TBI agents are on the scene with Pleasant Plains Road blocked off, several roads blocked, and on alert at Union University. It is still not clear exactly what has prompted this response, but it is believed related to the search for Drummond, a quadruple M suspect. It is believed Drummond may have been tracked to a nearby apartment complex, courtesy of WNWS News. Updates to come. We are going to look some things up, guys. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to look some things up while I play a little bit more information for you guys. So again, if this is true, oh my God, I may be right that Drummond is a dumbass. No, ain't good. Hold up. Let me cut that. Thank God he's a dumbass. Let me be real. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, damn, another golly, if he only was smart enough, he would just get away, right? No, we want him locked up. We want him caught. But if this is true, then he's dumb. He didn't even leave his own area. He didn't even leave the area from which he is from. I'm going to look it up too, because I want to make sure that I'm cross-referencing some information that's absolutely correct. But I could have sworn they said that he's from the Jackson area. His Audi was found, and they said he is from the Jackson area. I'm sorry. He dumb. Oh, thank God. He's dumb. If this is true, hopefully this isn't a false alarm. He just lasted a lot longer than I expected. That's it. Yeah, that's what she said. Sorry. But you know what I mean? He just lasted a lot longer than I expected. Real talk. So he is from Jackson. 100. He is from Jackson. 100. Thank you so much, Word Sleuth. I appreciate it. See, I'm not dumb. Okay? He is, but I ain't. His broke ass Edward Norton looking ass. Okay? Fight Club looking ass. But anyway, here's the thing. I'm sorry. Oh, this is brilliant. Please let it be him. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, let it be him. Okay? All right? Because he needs to be locked up. Now, hold on. I'm going to look up a few things. I got to. Let me play a tiny bit more of this video. No. We're moving on. I got another video for you guys. This is from Fox. They're covering this as well. I want, give me 2 seconds. All right. Oh, thank you, Word Sleuth. Oh, that's so nice of you. Oh, that's so kind. You got such a kind heart. Appreciate you, Word Sleuth. Thank you so much. Okay, God be with you. God be with you. Let's play this, okay, guys? Let's go.
Family members leaving only a baby alive is on the run this morning. A $17,000 reward is out for information to find Austin Drummond. 2 men have been arrested for allegedly helping Drummond and have charged them with accessory to first-degree murder. Former Assistant FBI Director Chris Schwecker joins me now. Chris, good morning to you. Great to see you. We are dealing with quadruple homicide in Tennessee, and the suspect is armed and dangerous and has been on the run for some time now. And I can imagine the arrest of these 2 people who had an interaction with him after the fact is going to be huge in helping investigators find his whereabouts.
Yeah, I think so. When you have accomplices, that always increases your chances, of finding a fugitive like this. That gives you a lot of leads to work with. You can flip them. You can find out what they know. They have charges hanging over them. They can, if they're not the main perpetrator, they get an opportunity to make a deal. So that's a good set of leads there. And of course, in this day and age, mobile phones, cars, they all have trackers in them. So this has some really sinister overtones, though. And this guy was a career criminal, paroled against the recommendation of the district attorney, who says he's a confirmed member of the Vice Lords and a very dangerous person. Wow. So even though he was dangerous, he was paroled out.
Okay, so here's the other thing too. We now understand that he was part of, this is the part that my dogs don't like either. They don't like this at all. but he was part of the Vice Lords, by the way. So they be a gang, okay? They be a gang. Just so y'all know. Some of y'all like, who the hell is the Vice Lords? They be a gang, okay? No, it's not a rap group, okay? And he just goes by Casper the Friendly Ghost. No, he is part of a gang, okay? He's thrown up gang signs. Yeah, the dogs they don't like thugs, okay? We don't like thugs, okay? Thugs come up to the house, they're getting mowed down, okay? Don't even try, okay? I may be a man with a loving, warm heart, but I'm cold with that piece. You feel me? Okay. But anyway, okay. He be a part of the gang. So now we know that, okay? Like I said, he's part of that thuggish, ruggish bond. He's a part of the thuggish, ruggish bond. Thug. Okay? White boy Rick. In the flesh.
Okay, so Austin Drummond is believed to have known his victims, the parents, grandmother, and uncle of this infant. And one of the investigators in this case said Drummond did show a sign of compassion because he dropped the baby off at an area where the child could be found. I don't know how much compassion somebody can show after murdering 4 people, but I understand what an investigator is saying when it comes to dropping the baby off. And the investigator goes on to say, so there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. What are the chances that happens, that he voluntarily gives himself up?
I mean, I think it's possible, and I think they're playing to him by putting that out there publicly on the assumption that he's watching or listening to the news, and they're basically talking directly to him, trying to get him to come in. He doesn't seem like the kind of career, he's a career criminal, as I mentioned. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that'll turn himself in. Even his own attorney made a comment that I thought was kind of interesting, which was no comment. And I think he said that because he's afraid of the guy. He doesn't want the guy coming after him. So, this guy is very armed and dangerous. I mean, armed and dangerous, sometimes just a moniker you put on a fugitive's wanted poster, but this guy is thoroughly armed and dangerous. Danger of a carjacking, a home invasion, just to find a place to hold out or to get transportation. So, we need to get him in custody as soon as possible. Well, I'm going to be saying a lot of similar words in this next story that I wanted to ask you about, because another horrible situation, this time unfolding in Montana, where a man...
Yeah, we're going to stop right there because, yes, the Montana situation is even more insane as well, for people losing their lives, etc. You know what I mean? Which we are going to get to in a second. But I'm trying to pull up a few things so that we have these things as well, because, yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay. 1 second, guys, because obviously we got to talk about the breaking news, of course, of this possible sighting. And I know a lot of people are wanting to know what the F is going on, right? The fact that he's been gone for 6 days still blows my mind. I'm going to be real. I'm still just mind blown over the situation. Now, I'm hoping that we can find some more updates. I'm going to look at it here in a second. But they have him cornered. Where are you finding out about, Elise? Where are you finding out about him being cornered? Because I'm curious about this. This is breaking news, which I'm going to share and show you guys once again. Okay, now I'm on Facebook. Like I said, Facebook be wildin'. Facebook wildin', y'all. Facebook wildin'. So we're going to look up a few things, but I'm going to repeat this again for those of y'all who are in the knees bleeds. The nosebleed seats, okay? So they're saying breaking, possible sighting of Austin Drummond. No, this is a sighting of him. There's no way that they could just find another guy that looks as ugly as him out there in these streets. I'm sorry. There's no way, okay? So I guarantee you, yes, this is Cavalcante vibes big time, but he's not as smart. He's not as skilled. You can still be dumb and skilled. He's not as skilled and he's dumb. So he's screwed. Okay. So quick summary for you, Heather. Yes, love. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your support. Apparently, they are saying that they have him. They are circling. They're basically starting to slowly. He's getting tracked right now. Okay, they're getting him, and that is some crazy stuff. Okay, if he's actually getting cornered, that's something new for me too. But nonetheless, they're saying there's a possible sighting of Austin, which I believe this is a sighting of Austin. Okay. In fact, let me get it's WNWS News. WNWS News. Let's see. Because I am kind of curious. Yep, they even have a live feed going on as well. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to pull that up for you guys here in a second. So here it is, okay? Austin Drummond, who's been out on the lam for the last 6 days, may be getting, the police might be catching up to him right now. What's crazy is that he never left Jackson, Tennessee, if that's true. He's from Jackson, Tennessee, and he may not have ever left the area. Not at all. 2 men, they say there's a possible 3 men that were arrested, okay, in connection to the unalivings of this family of 4. And maybe they got some tips from them, from the 3 people that were actually arrested. But nonetheless, they're saying there's a possible sighting of Austin Drummond, okay? Now they're saying there's reports of a large police presence with SWAT team members and weapons. This is in Jackson, Tennessee. So this is why I said he dumb. Why is he dumb? Because he didn't leave his own backyard, basically. He didn't even leave his own stomping grounds. His car was abandoned in Jackson, and he's still in Jackson. He could have kicked rocks a long ass time ago, and he didn't. Thank God he's dumb. But now apparently they're starting to close in on Austin Drummond right now as we speak because he's dumb. Thank God for stupidity. These are the moments where I'm like, yeah, thank you for being so dumb. Okay. So THP and Jackson police are staging around West Jackson Baptist Church. Why would they have such a huge police presence if there's nothing there? I'm just telling you right now, he's in that area. They're about to get him. And we are about to watch this in real time, most likely. Woo! I love it when the plan comes together. Let's go. TBI agents are on the scene with Pleasant Plains Road blocked off. I'm sorry. Several roads blocked and on alert in University City. It is still not clear exactly what has prompted this response, but it is believed related to the search for Drummond. Yeah, why would you have such a police presence because of a missing dog? I'm just saying. This is not just some random situation where you have all the cops showing up. You even have sniffer dogs out there, y'all. Come on. Sniffer mother-loving dogs out there. So they about to get him, okay? So it's believed that he may have been tracked by a nearby apartment complex. So he might have been holed up in somebody's home and then maybe went out for a walk. I don't know. He's dumb. He's dumb. Okay? Like I said, ain't no way that they're going to be tracking somebody down just for ish and giggles. Okay? He is most definitely surrounded. They're about to hone in on this mother lover, and he about to go down. Okay? He about to go down, y'all, and I'm excited. Let's take a look. But live feed as we speak. Hold on, I'm going to let this feed go up and keep going. And then I'm going to pull this. Hold on. In fact, let me read some of what they're. Oh, they didn't say anything up here. They're just doing a live feed. Interesting. Is he surrounded or no? Hold on. Okay, I'm looking up a few things. Could they be? That's weird. That'd be weird to have such a police presence on a situation like this, right? I'm gonna lower the volume on this though, because it's not like there's anybody talking. Hold on, let me check something here really quick. Let me see if there's any posts from TBI at all. Okay. Just to see. Okay. So this is very interesting. This is interesting. Here, let me show you guys what I mean. Let's take a look at this. This is interesting. This was just announced. I'm going to mute that here for a second. TBI just announced this. Hold on, because I was wondering. I was thinking maybe this is going to be the guy, but they just put this up a minute ago. Look, 2 minutes ago they put this up. Okay. So just announced, agents have now arrested the third person in an ongoing fugitive search for a suspect wanted in connection to the 4 unalivings in Tiptonville that occurred last week. Wow. So a woman was actually arrested. What? Whoa. So this police presence has nothing to do with a sighting? Now they're saying that it has to do with that's the reason why there was such a police presence at this apartment complex? Because, hold on, let's just read this. This is interesting. So special agents with the TBI have arrested a third person in the ongoing fugitive search for the suspect wanted in connection to the quadruple Emming in Tiptonville. Monday morning, agents charged a Jackson woman. So I don't know. This may be separate news. Okay. They may not have said anything about what's going on outside of that apartment complex. There must be some sort of, like I said, there's got to be a sighting going on. Okay. There's got to be like Austin was spotted. It's got to be. Okay. Because it doesn't make any sense that this was just, and I'm wondering what time this was actually posted. Because again, they're literally in the middle of this. This is what's going on right now. Right? This is what's going on right now. So it wouldn't make any sense for them to put out this right now. Does that make sense? They just posted this. So if there's a police presence going on still over at this particular area, could that be this? Could this be connected, or could this be what they're reporting? I don't know. Okay, but they still did Monday morning. Okay, Monday morning, they charged a Jackson woman with accessory after the fact of first-degree M. So at the request of the 29th District Attorney General Danny Goodman, TBI special agents began investigating the unalivings of 4 individuals that occurred on Tuesday, July 29th, along a Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Early in the investigation, TBI agents, in coordination with a variety of local, state, and federal authorities, identified, we already know who he is, okay, Dollar Store Slim Shady as a suspect. Agents obtained warrants for Drummond, charging him with 4 counts of first-degree M, 1 account of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of of felon in possession of a firearm and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. Further investigation revealed that an associate of Drummond, Dara Sanders, assisted him following these unalivings as well. So in other words, maybe he got her, or she got him a ride out of town, or got rid of the weapon, or you know what I mean? It could be a million different things. Help move the bodies, possibly. Okay. Come on now. Monday, agents obtained warrants charging Sanders with accessory after the fact to first-degree M. She will be booked into the Lake County Jail. Also charged in the connection of this whole thing is, well, we heard Tanaka, but I think it's Tanaka, but I could be wrong. Tanaka Brown and Javante Thomas, both charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree M. So we already know about this, but she's also facing a charge of tampering with evidence, meaning she either helped move the body or got rid of some evidence for sure. At the time of this release, Drummond remained at large. And we already know he should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. So this is interesting. I don't know if this is the same thing, because remember, people were talking about a third person yesterday. People were talking as early as yesterday about a third person being arrested. Now they're saying a third person is being arrested, but then we also have a possible sighting of Drummond with this whole live feed that's going on. So again, I'm going and see, even this woman said here in the chat, and I agree, it just doesn't make any sense. They're saying she was arrested at 8 this morning, though. So is there a connection? I don't know anymore. But this is a very interesting situation. Very interesting situation nonetheless. Okay? So there is allegedly a sighting. Because why would they go out in the woods if they've already arrested the female? You feel me? If she had already been arrested, what, they just want to see the moon and the stars like Brian Koberger? I doubt it. Okay? They want to go hug some trees? No. They're out there because they believe that he's out there. Hamburger. Hold on. Somebody just said, Kia, where did it go? Live feed of Drummond now. Where, Kia? Where? Someone email it to me then, you know. Someone. Please, sir, madam, send it my way. Because I don't see it. And it can't just be some other YouTuber's page, you know, channel. Please don't do me like that. Okay? But I'm quite curious as to what is true and what is not true right here. Beautiful Messy Ball. Yeah, she probably gave up information on who else was helping him or where he's been hiding. That's what I think. I think people are starting to squawk, right? I think people are starting to talk. And I think somebody got arrested, all right? Somebody most definitely got arrested and started talking. One of the three, because now you got 3 people that were arrested, not 4, but 3. So whoever got arrested yesterday, that everybody was like, oh, a third person got arrested. Whoever that third person is, that was, you know, it sounds like there's no connection, because they would have said by now 4 people have been arrested in connection to this whole situation. But they're not saying that at all, y'all. But if you see a live feed of this whole thing, this search going on, send it my way, please, because I want to see it too. We all want to see it. But this is just still nothing. Let me see something here, because we can always come back to this. Yeah, and then see here, that's what's crazy. They're saying here too, and this is from WNWS. They're saying third person charged in connection to quadruple unaliving. Special agents with the TBI have arrested a third person in the ongoing fugitive search for the suspect wanted in connection to the quadruple unaliving. Okay, we already know her name. Okay, Dira Sanders. She assisted him following the actual unalivings. So she, again, got rid of evidence, maybe helped move the bodies, etc. Right? And they're definitely See, that's the thing. People in the chat are like, oh yeah, it's done. Like they got the girl. The girl was arrested a while ago. She was arrested this morning. So if they're out there in the woods, no, they're not just out there looking for her, because they already got her. You see what I'm saying? Take a look.
He had commented on a social media post soon after Brooksy's recovery that she did not know the dog was in the garage, starving.
Look at that. They out there, y'all. They looking, baby. Police presence. And this is only an hour ago, right? This whole police presence. So if they had already arrested her, they wouldn't be out here in this wooded area looking for her. You see what I'm saying? What's done is done, right? They could be back in the office having their cups of coffee and their donuts, right? But that's not the case here. I'm keeping an eye on this, though. Let me see something here, though. Now, there is some more here that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because clearly there's a lot going on. People want to know what the heck is going on here. We got Vinny Politan, so we're going to take a look at this too. While I get some more information, I'm trying to find out if there really is a live feed of everything that's going on. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at this.
There, both mysteries, both extremely serious, and everyone's wondering, is there a connection? Is there a connection between this unidentified baby and these 4 bodies that were found? And tonight it's looking like there is a connection. Let's bring in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas.
This is a few days old, guys, just so you know, okay?
In studio, this story, everyone is talking about it tonight, Cody. So let's get, what is the latest that we know? And is there a definitive connection between this baby that is left and these 4 bodies that were recovered?
Well, Vinny, the short answer is yes, that there is a connection, but I'll walk you through how we got there. So this is a multi-agency investigation that happened all yesterday, Tuesday of this week, in Lake County in Dyer County, Tennessee. That's all in northwestern Tennessee. This 7-month-old baby, just 7 months, not even a year old yet, Vinny. Her name was Weslyn. She was abandoned and just dropped off in a random stranger's yard just after 3 p.m. in broad open daylight. And of course, that guy called 911, which got the investigation going. Now, this all happened where she was dropped off in Tigrit, Tennessee. That's in Dyer County. We have a map here showing you, that's the map of Tennessee here. Tigrit in Dyer County was only about 40 miles away from where those other 4 bodies were found up in Tiptonville, Tennessee. That's in Lake County. They're neighboring counties not too far away, 30, 40 miles away, only about a 40-minute drive. Now, Vinny, let me walk you through the timeline of the events that happened yesterday that led to this baby getting found and those 4 bodies being discovered. So, as I had just mentioned, just after 3 p.m., the baby was found in a stranger's yard, little Westland, and 911 was called. 5:10 p.m., the Dyer County Sheriff's Office releases a statement saying they're looking for 3 people, a man by the name of Matthew Wilson, a woman named Adriana Williams, and another woman named Courtney Rose. Now, just before midnight, Benny, Dyer County Sheriff's Office releases another statement saying 4 bodies were found further north in Lake County. And Benny, to confirm that connection, the District Attorney, Danny Goodman Jr., he serves in both Dyer and Lake County. He confirmed that these were all family members related to the baby. So, and 3 of those 4 bodies that were found were the 3 names that I had just mentioned. We have Matthew Wilson, 21 years old. That is the father of the baby. Adriana Williams, 20 years old. That is the mother of the baby. Courtney Rose, 38, the maternal grandmother, and Braden Williams, 15, the maternal uncle. And Vinny, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation confirmed that this is a homicide investigation. And there is also an active GoFundMe page created by what seems to be a friend of Matthew Wilson, the baby's father, where general donations are being given, to go along with funeral.
Yes, Jeffrey Bullard is with us. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining us.
It's like I'm trying not to show the kid's face, and then every 5 seconds they're showing the face. I didn't even know that they could do that, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. But moving on.
Yes. What can you tell us about the scene where these 4 victims were found?
So thank you very much for having me. First off, I also want to mention where we were at. It was Carrington Road, which is just a 2-minute drive to the nearby correctional facility. This Carrington Road, it was almost like a cul-de-sac, but it was so wooded you couldn't see from our drone just where the police were going. You could tell that it was in the woods, but you couldn't exactly tell where exactly those officers were. We were told on scene that it was a fairly large crime scene that they were investigating. Fast forward to around 4:30, we're getting ready to go live for our 5 o'clock live shot. And all of a sudden you see 2 Department of Transportation wreckers pull out a black Dodge Charger and a white SUV from what appeared to be the crime scene. So they couldn't comment on if those vehicles were exactly related. We do know it was pulled from the area of the crime scene in that nearby wooded area. But there are so many unknowns about the situation that I think really intrigues people because, it's our job to report fact and not speculate on, these people's lives. This is very real for them. We spoke to several neighbors who are just absolutely it's so shocking. You don't think something like that happens in your backyard,
Absolutely. So do we know any details about how the victims died? And is this an active search for a killer tonight?
So the person in charge of the TBI, at least the communications person that we spoke to, they were telling us that they're still looking for, and they very intentionally said, suspect or suspects. Somebody's out there still, long story short, from what we're being told at the moment.
And have they said anything about little baby Wesleyan, about why they believe she was spared or how the timeline of when the baby was left and when the victims were killed?
I know it's very, you have so many questions, and we had so many questions whenever we were at the press conference, just trying to get a better understanding. They were basically telling us it's still under investigation. They weren't too clear with any answers as well. Back to your other questions that I accidentally skipped forward, the cause of death is still under investigation as well. So it's not entirely clear what everybody was doing out in this wooded area, because whenever, like I mentioned earlier, that cul-de-sac, it goes into a bike trail that goes on near Reelfoot Creek. And so there's not a lot out there. It's mostly wood. So it makes you certainly wonder why they were out there. That's still an unknown. There's a lot of unknowns right now.
Absolutely. And we're looking at the video. Thank you so much. As we look at that video, and we can see it's very rural, I assume, right? It's consistent with what we're seeing here. So there wouldn't necessarily be surveillance cameras anywhere. A lot of the cases we cover here at Court TV, there's ring cameras, there's surveillance cameras, there's traffic cameras. Describe the area for us and your thoughts about the opportunity for there to be any sort of video that could be useful here.
Well, that's a really a great point that you make up. Whenever we were telling neighbors about just kind of what was going on, because some of them were looking outside, seeing all these police cars, wanting to know what was going on. They didn't have camera footage. The closest nearby camera footage that there might be would be at the nearby correctional facility. But this is really, I mean, when you look at this as a person, it scares you. I mean, you go out there and you think, okay, there's no cameras around. It makes you wonder why there wasn't cameras there, you know?
Absolutely. And final question, I know you have to go. Jeffrey, you mentioned it's near a correctional facility. There's no indication, because a lot of people are thinking, did someone escape from the correctional facility? Is that what we're talking about here? There has not been any information like that that's been made public, or any talk of that, has there?
Yeah, like I said, this is a few days old, so clearly, you know, there's a much more updated, you know, conversation and video that he's done recently, which if we get time, we'll talk about that and bring that up. But nonetheless, you know, there's a lot going on right now. Let me show you what I mean, because now they're sharing this. At least this is what's from Fox. This is from Fox 13. They're sharing this on Facebook right now, which kind of sucks, because you kind of wish that they would put all this stuff more on the tubes, of course, but it is what it is. This is 19 minutes ago that they posted this. So this is 19 minutes ago, guys. At least 2 schools placed on lockdown as authorities swarm Jackson, Tennessee in search of mass monster, as in search of this suspect. And this is happening while in Jackson, Tennessee, trying to find Austin Drummond. So again, just so you know, yesterday they talked about the arrest of a third person. That rumor was running around, and now they confirmed that rumor to be true. Or that's what's weird is that yesterday, if I'm correct, people were talking about the arrest of a third person. But that third person that people were talking about apparently had no connection to this situation. May have been friends with the guy or something like that, but there was no connection. They have no connection to this situation. Now this morning, first thing this morning, a woman by the name of Dira Sanders got arrested. And now, flash forward a couple hours later, we're back in Jackson, Tennessee, and there are helicopters flying around and a massive police presence in this particular area of Jackson, Tennessee. So, given the fact that homegirl got arrested and she's already locked up, and the fact that there's heavy police presence out in this particular area in Jackson, Tennessee, I think it's fair to assume that they are zooming in, or they're starting to get closer to getting their hands on this monster, Austin Drummond. That's what I think. Now, will he be found alive? I don't know. But at the same time, they're out there looking in this particular area, in this particular direction, for a very specific reason. Dira is already locked up. She's already getting processed, okay? And looking at a charge for helping Austin Drummond. She's one of the 3 now that have been arrested, just so you guys know. So now we're waiting for more information about this. Let me just pull up the one that live feed that we had. Let's just see if there's any updates, because it doesn't look like there really is anything. It's just kind of, they haven't moved at all. Let me show you what I mean. They haven't moved at all. Take a look. They haven't moved at all, man. And people are like, yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? Did they find the dude? So far, no. But I'm telling you right now, Either they're going after another person. They might be going after another person or something like that. But I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. All right. This guy is dumb enough to stay in Jackson, Tennessee. Okay. And he might have a reason why he's still in Jackson, Tennessee. He might have a reason, y'all. And the reason is, well, we're about to find out. He might have a reason. And the reason might be because of a little bundle of joy. Little bundle of joy that he's bringing into the world himself. Yes. He's about to be a daddy. And yet he did all this stuff. And now we're starting to learn about the woman that he's about to sire a child with. Let's get into that conversation now, shall we? Now, here's the thing. Before we go into this, let me just preface this really quick. We don't know if this is 110% true. I'm giving you fair warning. This is what the streets are saying. This is rumor mill. Okay? Now, I could see him being dumb enough to stick around because he's like, I'm about to have a baby. Right? I'm about to have my own baby. Maybe he's dumb enough to do that. Right? I just think he's dumb. And so hopefully his dumb ass gets caught because of his dumb, stupid ways. And karma definitely is a mother lover. Okay? Especially to y'all who are doing some evil doing things. But like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Okay? The streets be out here talking. Don't know if all of this is 110% true. You have been forewarned. All right? Let's take a look at this. So, it now appears to be confirmed that Caitlin, this is Caitlin, is the sister. Okay? So, she's the sister of victim Courtney Rose, the grandmother. This woman right here. This woman right here. And this woman right here. Apparently, they are sisters. All right? They are sisters. Okay. So she is pregnant. And the father is believed to be Austin Drummond. The man accused of taking out the 4 members of her own family. Okay? Photos from a maternity shoot have surfaced, seemingly verifying what many had only heard as rumor until now. Let me show you what I mean. It comes down here. Take a look at these photos. Oh, that's definitely him. Cheesing like a mother love right here. And and that's definitely him right there too. And it's the same woman. Oh, snaps. That be the same woman, dog. Maternity shoot. Yeah. We got more though. This is not done yet. So she is siring, she is bringing a beautiful baby into the world that she made with the likes of Dollar Store Slim Shady. Let me continue. So now they're saying, well, this was a rumor at first, but now it has been confirmed. What's most heartbreaking is the idea that someone expecting a child with a member of the family could be capable of such brutality. I agree. Austin is accused of taking the lives of Adriana Williams, Matthew Wilson, Braden Williams, and Courtney Rose. People who not only loved him, but were connected to him, but were connected to the baby he now shares with Caitlin. Yeah. The relationship reportedly began while Austin was incarcerated. According to Caitlin's ex, which we got to take this with a grain of salt, because these exes be wilding out here. You know how it is. They bitter. They say things that ain't true. All right? So according to Caitlin's ex, She was a corrections officer at the time and allegedly had an sexual relationship with him behind bars. At the same damn time, she also claims she brought him, the ex, also claims that she brought him contraband. Yeah. Gave him contraband. While those allegations haven't been publicly confirmed by officials, they raise serious questions, especially considering Austin's extensive disciplinary record in prison, including being caught with a weapon and facing an attempted M charge before he was ever released. Like I said, you got a dude out here that was about that thug life, okay? He was all about that thug life. And yet he still was able to get out of jail even after the fact, which is insane. Why would Austin unalive the family of his unborn child? What could possibly justify this level of violence? There's been confusion about Caitlin's current location. Yep. Where's she at, though? Some family members have said she's safe and with them. Are we sure that's true? Others have claimed that she's in jail. But that does not appear to be true because they would have said something about her being locked up. Trust. They don't care about her being with child. They would sit there and go, yes, the baby mama of the man that's out on the lam has been arrested. Her mugshot would have been plastered all over the internet by now. So where is she, though? Could she be out on the lam with his ass? Maybe. But here's the thing, though. She's preggers as hell. Maybe the only reason the 7-month-old baby was left unharmed is because Caitlin was pregnant with Austin's child. Maybe the reality gave him a moment of hesitation, a flicker of humanity before he walked away. That baby's parents, Adriana and Matthew, weren't even given the same mercy. Austin Drummond remains on the run. Meanwhile, 2 men, which we've already talked about, they've been arrested, and now a third person has been arrested, and that person's a female. And maybe the female was like, no, don't do nothing to the 7-month-old baby. Let's just drop him off. Maybe, I don't know. The entire situation is devastating. 4 lives lost, a baby left behind, a family shattered, and for what? That's what I'd like to know as well. Nice post, okay? Beautifully said, damn good post. But here are these 2 photos, a maternity photo. She loved this man so much that she was willing to risk her job, even getting herself incarcerated herself, if you really think about it, because she was a corrections officer at his actual prison, okay? Which is insane. Now I want to know why. Why did you do this? Why did you go and do what you did to this family? The family that you are actually about to add another little branch onto the family tree. You are part of this family tree. Why would you do that? Yeah, that's a Timo photo shoot like I ain't never seen before in my life. Okay? But I get it. You don't have money. He don't have money. You don't have money, so maybe, sometimes you're just lucky to have a friend who has a photo, has a camera, and a clean bed sheet. I'm being dead ass. Maybe that's it, okay? But crazy, right? Crazy. So there they are. So now we know. Dollar Store Slim Shady was boinking a corrections officer at his prison, allegedly, who happens to be the sister of the grandmother of the 7-month-old baby that he allegedly dropped off in the front lawn of someone's home after taking the life of not only his baby mama's sister, but his baby mama's sister's kids and the baby daddy of the 7-month-old that they discarded on the side of the road. Again, I keep wondering, is she really there safe with family and friends? And she's just hiding out because everybody and their mama is probably looking in her direction right now? Or is she on the run? Is she actually on the run with Austin Drummond right now? That's a question that still remains to be seen. This is some crazy stuff, though, guys. We still looking. We still trying to find out what's going on. Real talk. This is insane. Okay? But as far as, that's the thing. I'm trying to find out if there's where, like, hold on. Maybe you guys sent me some more stuff. Let's see.
Four victims are related. Their bodies were found after police discovered an abandoned baby related to them, in a random person's front yard.
Hold on, guys. Let's see. Watch live. Let's see.
Kidnapping. He's on the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's most wanted list now. The DA there calls him a threat to the public. More than 3,000 Boeing workers at 3 defense plants went on strike today. The workers are concentrated in the St. Louis area.
That's not what I need. I was hoping for. Nope. Hold on. Let me see some. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Getting links. People are sending me some things, so I'm just trying to make sure I got what is needed. Yep. Okay. So this helps confirm a few more things, guys. So there it is. Okay, this is good. Let's take a look at this. So they are saying, okay, and thank you for sending this. I appreciate it. They are saying so according to ABC 24 Memphis, they're saying TBI officials confirm to ABC 24 that officers are following up on Drummond's possible location in the area of Pleasant Plains Road Monday afternoon. So they are looking him up right now. They out there, okay? They're out there. They're trying to find this mother lover. So again, the woman that got arrested as being the third person getting arrested in connection to this whole situation, that is something completely different. That happened this morning, very early this morning. Now they are most definitely out there. The police presence that is out there is indeed them looking for Austin Drummond right now as we speak. So I think they're gonna get that. Well, I think they're gonna get his skanky ass. Okay, I ain't got nothing to say about the baby mama. Okay, yes, it's diabolical. Yes, it's some nasty work. And no, you shouldn't be fraternizing with the doggone prisoners, okay? And if that part is actually true, then that's nasty, okay? But at the same time, and I think that's illegal. Isn't that illegal? I think that's illegal too. You're not allowed to bump uglies with the prisoners, okay? Okay, that's nasty. That's wrong. It's trashy. It's nasty, trashy, and wrong. And I think it's illegal. Okay? Nasty. It's like the way I see it is like, don't get me wrong, I get they're human, okay? But I look at it like, you're keeping an eye on very volatile livestock, okay? You're not supposed to be bumping uglies with the livestock. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to tend to them, make sure they're fed, make sure they keep themselves clean, make sure they don't try to, mess with each other, and keep it moving, right? But no, you out there gallivanting with scallywags. That's some messed up stuff. Yeah, and that's a very interesting, abuse of power for sure. right? Think about that. Crazy. Yeah, she was she was maybe he was feeding her, you know what I'm saying? She the one pregnant. So I don't know. Okay? But this is some crazy stuff, y'all. But yeah, keep sending me stuff if you got it, please. Cuz I'm looking. I'm definitely looking. University City locked down is official search for quadruple murderer suspect, okay, Austin Drummond in West Tennessee. So they confirmed, like I said to you guys before, they confirmed that they are truly in the area looking for him right now. Okay. University City's campus in Jackson has been put on lockdown as law enforcement in the area search for fugitive and quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond, who has a warrant out for his arrest for 4 counts of first-degree M. So again, they're still looking for this dude. Students and staff at the university were sent the following message on Monday morning announcing that the campus will see an increase in the presence of law enforcement and that all entrances to all buildings on campus will be locked during the search. So they're like, yeah, you know, kids, you are likely aware that of the continued search for a fugitive in West Tennessee. Due to this search, you will notice an increase on campus presence of law enforcement, including Jackson Police Department and the U.S. Marshals. At the request of Jackson Police Department, safety and security is locking down exterior entrances to all buildings on campus. You will still have access to the buildings via the Verkada Pass. More information will be communicated as it becomes available. To clarify the earlier message, JPD has requested safety and security lock exterior doors to buildings. They're not requiring union employees to shelter in place. So again, this is very interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Wait, where's that? Debbie Gibby, where's that? Where's that? The interview. I'd like to know. If you see that, let me know. Or if you know where I can find it, what's their name or whatever, let me know. Let me see. I'm looking. Let's see here. I'm trying to see where there's an X. Do you know where I can find it? News Nation interviewed him? Oh, dear Lord. Hold on. I'm looking up News Nation. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. News Nation. Diggity damn. Hold up. Now I got to find. Let's see. Because things have gotten, well, you know, even on this platform too, it's gotten kind of politicky lately. Because of Epstein. It's just been Epstein. Hold on, I'm trying to. Do you know where it is? If you have it, please send it my way. Because I don't see it anywhere. And I'm skimming through, and how old is it? How old is the interview? That's the question. And don't forget to hit that like button down below, please, guys. That really be appreciated. Hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Fox 13 Memphis. Somebody said News Nation. I don't see it, but that's the thing. How long ago was this interview? That's the main question, because if he had an interview just the other day, it's a lot easier to find that than something that happened like a week ago. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm looking, I don't see nothing. It looks like News Nation. I mean, sure, News Nation has covered it, but it doesn't look like they've covered it, if that makes any sense. Because I don't see anything. But let me see. Fox 13 Memphis. Let's see what the story is here. Anyone? Bueller? Anybody? I don't see anything so far. Title, Father of a man who. I'm looking, guys. Sorry. You got me on a little bit of a wild hunt, but let me see. Yeah, I don't see that, guys. Nope. I mean, especially with that title, but let me just put it in Google. Let me see what Google says. Ah. There it is. Yeah, they hid this. Wow, they hid this. I found it on Google. But yeah, it's not on YouTube. I was looking on YouTube, but I found it. So this is the guy? Wow, he is short. Or that guy's really tall. Holy crap. Okay, let's take a look at this. Interesting. So, man who fathered child with woman related to this whole situation speaks exclusively. Okay. So he says, he's the father of the child, which we saw in that maternity photo, right? In that maternity photo, that maternity shoot. I'm sorry. So he spoke exclusively. So Fox 13 reported about that a family member posted on social media saying that Drummond was in a relationship with the sister of one of the women who actually lost their lives. So they caught up with Cade Butler, who fathered a child with the living sister. She is also Drummond's former girlfriend. There's no feeling like not knowing whether your kid is okay or not. This is what Butler said. I had a feeling he was a bad guy just by looking at him. Butler also said his concern for his 4-year-old daughter. When he went to prison for the first time, I found it online whenever I did a little research. Just by what I read, I could tell he wasn't a good guy. He said his daughter's mother dated Drummond not long ago. 28-year-old, old-ass 28-year-old Drummond is charged with, we already know what that is and what he's on the run for. So Butler, this ex-boyfriend, said one of the victims, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, is the sister of his child's mother. Whenever I saw that her sister and her sister's kids had been, lost their lives, I figured it had something to do with him, but I didn't think it was him. So he has had no contact with his daughter or mother since 2024 because of a restraining order. Yeesh. Mother moved off with him when he got out of prison. She left the prison working, I mean. She uprooted my daughter from everything she knew. So I knew something wasn't right. Butler said his main concern is the safety of his daughter. Interesting. Let's take a look. This is short, like him. Let's take a look.
Feeling in the world like not knowing if your kid's okay or not.
Now, as we continue to untangle this web, a man who says he has a child by the woman thought to be Drummond's connection to the murder victim is talking only with Fox 13 News. Last night, Fox 13 told you a family member said on social media that Drummond was in a relationship with the sister of the woman killed. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson is in Dyer County live. Daniel, you talked with Cade Butler, the man we just heard from, and this is the closest we've gotten to anyone connected to the victim so far.
That is right. DG, good evening to you. Good evening to you at home. The man who I spoke with says he had concerns about Drummond far before this happened, but he admits he did not know he was capable of what he's accused of.
I had a feeling like he was a bad guy, just by looking at him.
Cade Butler is concerned about his 4-year-old daughter.
Well, he went to prison for the first time. I found it online. Just whenever my daughter moved off with this man, I wanted to know about him, so I did a little research, and, just by what I read, I can tell he wasn't a good guy.
He says his daughter's mother not long ago dated Austin Drummond. The 28-year-old is charged with killing 4 family members. Butler says one of the victims, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, is a sister of his child's mother.
Whenever I seen that her sister and her sister's kids have been killed, I figured it had something to do with him, but I didn't think it was him.
Butler says he's not had contact with his daughter or her mother since 2024 because of a restraining order.
Her mother moved off with him when he got out of prison, and she left the prison working. So it was, she uprooted my daughter from everything she knew, with him. So I knew something wasn't right.
He's just hoping his daughter is safe.
How does he not know if his daughter is safe? You see what I'm saying? And then also it's like, why do you have a restraining order on you, man? Why does she have a restraining order on you, bro? Like, what's really going on here? You feel me? Something's weird. Something weird. Is he a bad boy too? You see what I'm saying? But then, most importantly, forget the restraining order part, which is still a red flag in my personal opinion, but we're going to slide it over to the side, okay? But the fact that he doesn't know, listen, I'm not trying to, what I can give a damn about is what about his daughter? Is his daughter okay? Has he spoken at least to his ex to find out if his daughter is okay? He at least has the right to know that. Sure, there's a restraining order on him, but maybe there's somebody that could reach out to somebody that can let him know that his daughter's okay. You see what I'm saying? This just doesn't make sense, y'all. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay.
There's no feeling in the world like not knowing if your kid's okay or not.
Yeah.
Back out here live in Dyersburg, the man who you heard from there, he says at some point he got a call from the prison where Drummond was serving time. More on that at 6. DG.
Say what? So you gonna tease that? I hate when they do that. That drives me crazy. Okay. I hate when they do that.
At some point he got a call from the prison where Drummond was serving time. More on that at 6. DG.
So we're gonna talk about that later. Come on, tell us what it is, though. More of that at 6. Come on, man. This is 3 days old, by the way. Yeah, 3 days old. So something's weird. Something weird is popping off, man. Something weird is popping off, man. Hold on, I'm pulling up a few more things. We're still looking. We be still looking. Okay. We still looking. Yeah, it's interesting because at least, let's see. Yeah, there's not much. Man, this is driving me kind of nuts because there's not much information that they're really giving out here on platforms. You type in, for example, Austin Drummond on X, for example. You'd think X would be a treasure trove of information, and there's not a whole lot of information, which is kind of ridiculous. But it makes you wonder. Yeah, because like I said, I'm trying to find like if there's a live feed somewhere. Hold on.
Now to breaking news from Jackson, Tennessee, where the search continues for Austin Drummond. He's the 28-year-old that's been on the run since 4 people were killed last week in Lake County. Mike Sirianni is live near Union University, where we have seen another large law enforcement presence today. Good afternoon, Mike.
Hey, and good afternoon to you, Zanetta. Yeah, I'm here just over my shoulder is Union University. This is Oil Well Road behind me, and then off to my left is Pleasant Plain Road. So this area is blocked off by law enforcement. Videographer Ryan Clee is going to pan around now, give you some idea of the law enforcement presence. We have officers, SWAT team that are suiting up in that church parking lot across from where I am. Overhead, a helicopter is circling, and then back to my right at Pleasant Plain Road, there's Highway Patrol and other officers set up over there as Ryan pans around to give you an idea of what that looks like. Of course, traffic is blocked off. You can't go down in that area. This is reminiscent of Friday when just about 2 miles from here, that neighborhood was covered up with law enforcement. That was where they found Drummond's vehicle, that Audi that he abandoned over there Friday or at some point. And there was an extensive search over there since that time. And over the weekend, we told you about two persons arrested and charged as accessories after the fact in the crime that Drummond is wanted for. And also, the latest and another bit of news came out when U.S. Marshals said they don't believe that Drummond is in Tennessee any longer. So I'm thinking maybe that someone has maybe seen someone suspicious. That's very possible, and that's what's caused this this massive show of force again here in the Jackson area. So I'm sure people are on edge and will continue to be on edge until they find Austin Drummond. Now, we're going to be following events here and have more later on our newscasts and, of course, on WREG.
Yeah, guys. I mean, boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know if they're, they may be closing in on him. They may not be. Okay. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of things. Like people are talking. It's more Facebook talking than I've ever seen before, which is really frustrating because you'd think that they would. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is interesting. This is just. Oh, it has no sound. So this is Cherry Grove Apartments. I mean, you know, they're out here looking around. So that is for sure happening. SWAT is moving. They've moved to another area, as you guys can see here. Driving off. So maybe it's a false alarm. Maybe it's a false alarm. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it might be a false alarm, y'all. Which is crappy. Because, of course, like he just said, we hear from other places saying that, oh, okay, maybe he left the state and he's no longer in the state. And that could very well be what it is here too, right? That he may not be in Tennessee at all. I'm really hoping that he's still dumb enough to stay in Jackson. And that means they just have to go in, you know, various areas and arrest and catch this guy. But I don't know. All I know is that eventually he is going to get arrested. Eventually he will get caught. There's no way he's going to be able to do this for so long. He's going to get caught at some point. He's going to do something really dumb and he's going to get caught. But that is very interesting. Let me see if there's any more updates going on over here. Yeah, so far nothing. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap up the show, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. If there's any new breaking information, of course, I'll be talking to you guys about it. We'll rap about it. But unfortunately, y'all, yeah. Is he in that area? It looks like the possibility of him being in that area, like where they were searching, is gone. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. I'm keeping an eye on it, but it looks like the search, you know, the possibility of him getting cornered or them starting to close in on him is now done. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. I promise. If there's more updates about this, we will talk about it very, very soon. But that is the show, guys. Okay. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. Okay. Thank you so much for your support. Again, please do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Okay. Hit that follow button on all those platforms that I'm on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well here on my YouTube channel. Go to my other platforms, my other channels, and subscribe over there. Hit that notification bell. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys? But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. We'll be talking here very, very soon. If there's new updates, I'll let you guys know very, very soon as well, okay? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.